All right, what's up, everyone? Here we are. Hole number 5 that we're setting up for here. We'll play this very similarly to what we did last time. Now, I would recommend, if I had to choose, Apocalypse over Thor's Hammer, but both should work. Being able to put that little bit of extra curl does make this shot just a little bit easier, in my opinion. It keeps you away from that right edge, which could potentially put you into the rough. And you'll see that, when you can curl it just a little bit more, get it way over here to the left, your chances of staying in the fairway are greatly increased. So that's one of the main reasons that I do prefer the Apocalypse over the Thor's Hammer. So other than that, we're just going to kind of set ourselves up for a nice sniper. It doesn't need to get to the very last bit of fairway. And that's extremely important tip for guys with, kind of weaker apocalypses as well. So you can see with an Apoc 4, I'm just going to try to stay over here and then curl it a little bit more to kind of keep that second hop away from the edge. So that is 7 rings. Aside from that, significant amount of curl. And as I mentioned, that's just something that the Thor's Hammer just can't do. So even if you have a early level Apocalypse, that's more or less the way that I recommend to do it, as opposed to going at that with a Thor's Hammer, just so you can add that little bit of extra curl. If you maximize your curl on a Thor's Hammer, there's a chance that it's just going to be kind of leaning towards the right. Unless you change your aim, you can land a little bit more aggressively to the left on the first bounce. But then you start to, bring in that risk that either bounce 1 or 2 could be kind of like a little bit more tighter on that rough there with the aim. So, I do like to just kind of keep it away from that as much as possible and then just create kind of as much of an angle as you can with that second bounce changing. It just keeps it a little bit more consistent and a little bit safer. So let's see here, a little bit too much on the ring adjustment, but overall that's a really good shot, especially with a Kingmaker. This is a tough hole to get online, and you'll always have to size this up. Keep in mind where your +0 is. You might want to, or min club. If you use this as kind of a guideline, any difference, whether you're north or south of that, from time to time, it'll help you get this more dialed in. Because the longer something's in the air, the more wind effect. The shorter, the less wind effect. So in this situation, I know I need to go under 1-to-1 on the adjustment. So I'm thinking somewhere around 11-ish rings, somewhere in there. There's 11. So with 11 on a 12, let's just see how it comes in. You can see it's also coming in very good. Just a hair more on the adjustment, 11.1, and there's a good chance that we get it to fall. So that's what you're going to want to do, and to get it dialed in, kind of the best method that I know is kind of what I was mentioning with where using this as a guide, and then seeing where my +1, +0 is. If that changes, if that distance gets longer to where the +1 is at longer club, that means that the ball's going to be in the air more. It means I'm going to need to go beyond that adjustment of what I just went there, which I still needed to anyway, but I only needed to go maybe 11.1 rings. So, and then you can just start to get that dialed in. The more and more you play it, you can just kind of check for where that +1 is. And as that gets farther or closer to the hole, you'll just want to make the necessary adjustment. Say, okay, that's going to be too much on this attempt because of the fact that it's close. I'm closer to the hole now, so it means I need to go less rings. So keep that tip in mind. That's going to be, especially on those side winds, the best way to start to get those dialed in. So good luck, and I'll see you guys on the next one.